And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey folks, I'm Tom Vasel, and today we're taking a look at Sheriff of Nottingham 2nd Edition in comparison with the original Sheriff of Nottingham. There's no reason for me to review the game. Sheriff of Nottingham 2nd Edition is essentially the same thing. Sheriff of Nottingham is a game that I love. It was the first game in the Dice Tower Essentials line. Dice Tower Essentials line is a cooperative branding between myself and Arcane Wonders, where games that I really like and I think are essential for a board game collection, we put them in this line and they print them. I do get a small cut of that, very small cut of that. But that is, I put games in that. They don't bring them to me. They only take games that I bring to them and I say these games are fantastic. You should put them in the line. And so they've done many games over the years. The most popular easily has been Sheriff of Nottingham so far. The rights for Sheriff of Nottingham have gone from Arcane Wonders to Come On. So it's no longer a Dice Tower Essential. That doesn't mean I still don't think the game's amazing. I think the game is fantastic. It doesn't matter whether it's in Dice Tower Essentials or not. It is a terrific game. So in this video, I'm just looking at the two compared. You can see there's some differences here already, and what they are. There's almost no rule changes. I'll mention one at the end. As far as I can tell, the games are functionally identical, but the components are certainly different in many ways, and that's what this video is going to show you, and I'll give you my thoughts on it. Let's get started. Okay, the first thing we can see here definitely is box size. The new one is much bigger, and in fact, the new one, I don't mind that they made the box size bigger. I just wish they had made it quite so big. So this here is Sonara, but it's a typical, I call this Ticket to Ride size box. I didn't have Ticket to Ride on me to show you. And you can see here how it still is bigger than that. I just found that to be, that feels like it's too big. We also can see that the new Sheriff looks slightly less mean than the old one. I don't know. I found it interesting. I mean, it's a completely different artwork, and we'll get to that in a bit. But I was surprised that how much they made the sheriffs look the same anyway. He still likes to wear those spiky gauntlets. The character boards are really different, and I don't know, I've been thinking about this for a while because I'm trying to decide which one I like better. Now, I think I like the fact this one, these have the motif. You know, this is blue. This one is blue because of the outside. This one is green because of the different stuff. But the artwork, I think, is just as good. It's better. I mean, this is a really good piece of art here. But at the same time, I like the funkiness of there being a nun involved. This is more Disney-esque artwork. This is more comic booky art. But, nah, I like them both. And I don't know, here you can see you put the bread, apple, cheese, and chicken. So it's the same thing here. Although they switched, the cheese is down here and the apple, well, that doesn't matter. I find this symbology to be slightly uglier than just having small numbers on the outside with how much everything is worth. But that's just being nitpicky. I don't see a big difference, but at least you'll know which piece goes in which game easily. Now with the bags, there's definitely a difference between them. These have the Sheriff of Nottingham logo on. Not a big deal, but the new bags are definitely bigger. They're still snap bags, which I'm glad because there was something satisfying. Once you unsnap it, that's it, you've opened it. There's been a lot of complaints about the snaps on these bags. I never had any problem with any of mine, but I'm not discounting that. I know enough people who told me that they did. I'm assuming, and I've heard that the new bags are better, but of course time will tell on that. But for now, definitely I do like the bigger is better, especially when you're putting cards in it. Now, when it comes to coins, this is not even a contest. The original Sheriff of Nottingham had way better coins. Not only are they different sizes, they're designed really well. These new coins are really boring looking. They look like victory points, which is what they are, but I just really like the old ones. Now, like the 50s here are really boring here. They just look really cool. So on this one, I'll give it to them. However, on the other side, the old treasure chest where you put the coins and stuff compared to the new one is much cooler looking. That looks better than the old one. So I don't know. I'm starting to think maybe I'm going to make a Frankenstein version of this game. When it comes to cards, I think I'm going to give the edge to the original ones. The new cards have some clean artwork on them. But I don't like this top here. It shows the coins and the money lost. I like it in the corner and in the bottom corner here instead. And even some things like the cheese here, that looks like butter almost. This looks like cheese. And this mead, that's mead? I don't know. It also, just having the words on it helps a little bit, I found. I don't know. I really like the old style of these particular cards. I think Vasel is more interesting and cooler looking than the original ones. I mean, the new ones are functional and they work, but the older cards look better. Now, of course, with more box, you have a better insert by far. The second edition insert is fantastic, especially you can keep the coins in the different spots. The original one had this tray that you could put out there, but that's not needed with the new rule change, which we'll get to in a second. The new one also has black market cards and deputy cards. The new one comes with the ability to play with the deputies right away. So you can play with quite a few players. Well, the deputy rules are just a nice addition to play the game a little bit faster. And so I like that part of the new game. But yes, the insert for the new one is much better than the original. I don't think the component difference is strong enough for you to pick one way or the other. The biggest thing here is for someone who has first edition, they're going to say, do I need the second edition? And I'm going to say only if, there's two reasons. One, if you want the bigger box and you like the artwork and the layout of the new one better, then sure, go for it. But that's one reason. The other reason is inevitably there may be an expansion in the future for second edition which won't be compatible with the Sheriff of Nottingham. Sheriff of Nottingham had an expansion which added a lot of cool stuff to it. Some of that stuff's here. The fact that this goes to 6 players, the original one only went to 5. You needed the expansion go to 6. This one starts going up to 6 players. This has the black market, which was in the expansion for that one. So if you've never gotten either one, your best bet is to get the new second edition. But also, there is one small rule change, which in the original one, when you drew cards, you could draw off the top of the deck or one of 2 different discard piles. In the new one, you just draw off the top of the draw pile. Now, to be perfectly honest, I never played with that original rule. I always just drew off the draw pile. It makes the game immensely faster. That was one of the rules I disagreed with, and I played it where you just drew off the draw pile. So them changing that rule is something I like. However, I can play that rule with the original one too, so it doesn't really matter. So the changes are minor, I think, at best. People are probably wondering about it, which is why I made this video, to compare the two of them. Like I said, there's probably an inevitable expansion coming around the corner. Maybe not around the corner, but in a year or so. And that may matter. But at this time, if you have this one and you're happy with it, keep it, play it, don't worry about it. If you don't have Sheriff of Nottingham, then get it. Sheriff of Nottingham is one of the best bluffing games, fun, interesting games I've ever played. Watch my review of that for the full details. But hopefully this will give you some idea of the differences between them. I'm Tom Vasel. We'll see y'all next time.